here with the Trustin and Jeff Show, episode number, this is 24.
Wow.
We're on episode number 24. I mean, we've been on it for a while now.
Yeah. Our days have changed a little, but we're grinding 2 out a week still, and that's what matters.
The 4th of July
with a
tomorrow.
new job. Yeah, the 4th of July.
We got the 4th of July.
Independence Day.
Yep.
And what do you know, the week of 4th of July, we have a debate where a shark was actually picked up on one of the mics.
Yep. Okay, not to get in like any politics, but did you see Biden after the breaks when his eyes are like this? He's looking like they just hopped him up on everything.
It's
like before the break, he's like falling asleep. It's like after the commercial break, motherfucker's like ready to go. His skin's itching.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy because it would be really cool if the race for the presidency was really like more than just 2 people. Like it was like an actual 5-10 people race of like the actual best we had to offer.
Yeah,
that would be really cool if that's the way it actually worked out. But never.
I know it'd be great if that was the way it worked out. But the problem is now we just got 2 parties that are so big that you can't really run as anything other than one of those 2 parties.
I know. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they're like, "Well, if you're saying if you vote for this guy who's running third party, you're saying that's just basically saying I don't want to vote." And I'm like, "No."
It's just that the 2 parties are so big that it doesn't matter. But
everybody's in that mindset of it's either left or right or it's a wasted vote.
I think there's only one person who could win a third-party vote, and that's Mr. Beast. Bro wants to be president one day, or Joe Rogan.
But Beast's idea, the fact of any person, if they make as much money as him, then give it all away.
Just to show hey,
you can't buy me, and give it all. Like, dude. I'm telling you, that would get you in.
Yeah.
That would get you, like you think Trump got, like let Mr. Beast keep this up.
Yeah, imagine someone like Trump gave away his billions just
that's what I'm saying. Let Mr. Beast keep going for 10 more years and, actually do something like that. He'll be president. Hands down. You think you've seen some crazy followings. He'll have a following, man. I mean, that is hard to buy somebody who don't care about money and, that's an admirable trait, really, truly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Who would you rather see as president, Mr. Beast or Joe Rogan?
Oh, that's a good choice.
I'd go with Joe Rogan just because, I know he wouldn't want to be president. He always talks about that, but I would just rather him just because with how many people he's had on the podcast.
I like the balance of Rogan, but I like the way Mr. Beast's brain works in how he looks at problems.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I think we would, I would almost, that's such a hard choice because, you know.
I feel like, though,
both of them would be great candidates. Joe Rogan's really good balance. He's tough. He's not a weak person, which that's a good trait you need in a leader.
Well, not just that, though. Joe Rogan's smart enough to know what he doesn't know. And so he'd bring in people and actually listen to them.
Using the best of the best. That's another good trait of somebody who's smart enough to know.
He's had so many people on his podcast. He's been through more than a master's degree, basically, in just what he's learned.
Yeah.
Because you got to think about what he's learned from each podcast with someone who's, has something to kind of bring to it.
He had Kennedy on not long ago.
Yeah.
He really seems to really like what Kennedy says, and I do too. He's talking about doing a blockchain thing for the budget to where
everyone can see
everyone would have full access to the national budget.
To everything but the black site stuff. Yeah,
which that would be cool because that would stop wasteful spending.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you wouldn't be buying $12,000 cups.
Yeah.
And things like that.
Just crazy stuff that's they
you have a glass this glass in a government building would be $300.
Yeah, or
made in Taiwan,
$1,000 toilet lid or something.
Yeah.
But
imagine being the contractor who got paid for that.
Well, that's there was the company. I don't think it was actual.
I see why they'd want all that money. You get paid. Imagine getting paid $300 to supply some cups. You're the cup manufacturer.
Yeah, Bob Ross.
Just because they have to spend all the money they got, approved for. You get $300 a cup.
There's a company, Bob Ross, I think is not Bob Ross, Bob Ross, the painter. Bob Barker.
I think he went to Vietnam. Bob Ross, he was in the military.
Was he?
Yeah.
Wow, I never would have pictured him as a Vietnam vet. Well, I guess I could maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bob Barker, basically he had a contract. He had a whole company that just produced stuff for prisons and juveniles. And basically they had the contract for like the whole federal system. So like that's a lick, man, because they were able to make like these cheap clothes and cheap furniture and then sell it to the prison system for a huge markup. Yeah, and they had like the same contract for like they were the only ones, so no competitors, to drive prices down. But yeah, man, it's been a hot one today, wasn't it?
Oh man, I'll tell you what, the heat didn't really get to me in the moment. Like I didn't feel too hot the whole day at all, but it wasn't until like I had gotten home and I'd like chilled for a little bit, and then I went out to the fight gym. Like
what the fatigue that sets in and on you.
It hits you differently. It's like delayed.
Yeah, the tired.
Once you start relaxing.
Once you start relaxing and cooling off, it's like
your body's like, man, why did you?
It's like a hammer. It's like a hammer hitting you. The AC is like it really is like.
Yeah.
It knocks me out, but yeah, I don't know. It's crazy, but I don't know. One thing we got to try to do at least one night of camping at the Frogman site. Benny reminded me about that because I was talking to him earlier, but yeah.
That would be fun.
It would be fun. I know it's going to be hard because
shoot a bottle rocket at
we're
it.
super busy. Yeah, maybe go down tomorrow night. But
I'm probably gonna be chilling tomorrow.
We take Sean down tonight with a GoPro.
Yeah.
Send him off along the Little Miami River.
Middle of nowhere.
Get me some footage of the Frogman. Don't come back without it.
Yeah.
That's funny. But
I wonder what type of
mutant.
I remember talking about the damn frog legs. Those things would be massive.
They would be.
I wonder if they would be too muscular to eat, though.
Another cool one would be going to Point Pleasant. Out to Point Pleasant, Ohio, where the Mothman thing happened. Because I would like to go
to Chernobyl. Find the headless
what's
Mothman.
Funny is they say, they sighted a headless Mothman right before Chernobyl went down. And there's a crazy lore around the Chernobyl Mothman sightings and stuff, but there's more than just there's a couple different catastrophes where the Mothman was sighted. Yeah. And when you look into it, it's kind of crazy, man. And kind of creepy too. Yeah, but
see, I feel like the issue is everyone wants to see all this shit and get it confirmed to be true. But once it's confirmed to be true, that's going to change how you go outside and think when it's nighttime. That's going to change a lot of things.
I think
eventually you just
the
think of it like a bear.
From what
it's a bear that's in the air and can just eat you.
Yeah,
or some shit like that.
From what I know of everything that I've heard of the Mothman, Point Pleasant and what happened around there.
Yeah.
I think it was more like an MK Ultra.
Some dude just.
It was an experiment on a small town on the edge of West Virginia. Think about it; it's a perfect place to do it.
Yeah.
West Virginia is one of the poorest places. Yeah, I mean, let's face it. If they're going to sacrifice people, that's the people they sacrifice.
Yeah.
It's the poor first. But
now, do you think it was a bioweapon, like an actual living thing?
I don't know
if it was just some cutting edge wingsuit technology they were trying to test out.
I think they tested LSD on the whole town. Or something crazy. That explains a lot of the crazy sightings and shit that happen around it.
Put it in the water supply and see what it does.
That explains why, I think maybe some accident happened with the bridge along with that.
Yeah.
That just was bad timing. But, everything around, the Mothman thing and the bridge collapse.
Well,
there was
I wonder if it was a mass hysteria type thing.
I don't know, but there was a lot of men in black that had questioned people who were involved with it, different things. I don't know.
You know what? That's another thing. Is
the first sighting was crazy though because it was chasing a bunch of teenagers in a car that were driving around just cruising on a weekend and they get chased by some flying giant man object.
I mean,
like that's keeping up with the car going
If
50
I was
miles an
with a
hour.
group of dudes who were worth their salt, and like, unless it's a massive,
A
like,
flying wing monster,
I mean,
though.
I'd be terrified.
If it's
don't
like
get me
10
wrong,
foot tall,
but I'd
I
pull out
don't
my
know.
phone and try to record it.
I mean, I would try to record it maybe, or try to hit it with something, but like
Fucking get out and turn the flash on.
if you don't have much besides your car,
I'm thinking of it because I've got a bunch of shit in my car.
a knife, yeah.
With what we do,
yeah,
I mean,
like
there's a
like
hatchet, a
hammer, claw
machete,
hammer. Yeah, we do have like a lot of
a
pretty
fucking
decent
crowbar
hand
back
weapon, yeah.
there, like.
Machete.
Yep, a big knife right next to
Yeah.
where I'm like at. So like
Yeah.
I'd be like, everybody grab something.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, in
But I
that
feel like everyone would be
situation,
too
yeah.
chicken. I feel like there's only a few people I know who would get out with me.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it depends on the
Everyone else is
size.
like, "Ah,
like if
look,
it's 10 foot tall with wings,
Oh,
that's
no.
a little scary.
Yeah, you gotta have a gun.
Yeah, like
I'd want a fucking rifle.
I'd want like a big caliber gun. Yeah.
I'd want an AR-15 with an
If
extended
you're talking
mag.
anything the size of a bear, like even a gun is an iffy.
I would unload on that thing, and then
Yeah.
I would take as many pictures and live streams and crazy shit as possible, post to every social media, have it on hard drives.
get out of there.
Yep, get out of there. Go
Yeah,
home, put
that's
that shit
right.
on hard drives and hide them.
Yeah, I heard two people arguing the other day. Okay, so it's interesting argument. It was about aliens, whether they exist or not, and the dude, one of them's like, oh well, that was explained, and that was a duck, like, and he was talking about one of the New York Times videos.
Yeah.
And I never heard this in my life, because if it's a duck, then why are two trained pilots sitting there having a hard time locking on a duck
Yeah.
with one of our top jets?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why
Especially a
can't-
duck moving like that.
You're saying even if it's flying at top speed, it's supposed to be able to lock onto anything, and they couldn't even get it to lock on.
Yeah.
And he said
That duck fucking hit Mach 13.
well, he said it was called a gimbal or whatever, and he's like, it's because they go past, and when they go past, that's why it changes direction. It looks like it turns. It's just the angle of the craft going past it that the camera turns that makes it look like it moves through the air differently. Anyways, I don't know if that's true or not. I've never heard the explanation of it that it was a duck and that these
That's like
pilots
it
just
was a
were
bird,
complete
it was a
morons.
plane.
Yeah.
It was a duck.
But anyway, so he's trying to say there's no actual proof out there of aliens or anything, and I'm like, I don't know. I think there's some compelling videos of stuff we don't know that it is, what it is, that we can't explain.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, no, they're all able to be explained. And da-da-da. And I hear him arguing, and it's just so crazy because, like, both of them are just so... They just want to believe what they want to believe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what kills me is, like, people can't ever, like, just... like, people think
about
they're...
it
Even the most
constructively.
unbiased people don't realize how biased they are in their thinking, that they don't want to
Yeah.
think anything else is possible, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Whereas I've always been kind of more of like a, I don't know, as I go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, as with the information I have to make my decisions, I guess, is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
For
But
me, it really depends on what it is, because, there's certain things that I feel are a certain way, but anything that's, like, with new information, like anything that's, like, fact-based,
I'm
you
still
kinda have to,
interested in, like, the people who are trying to prove the Earth is flat or round, like the fact that a man died in his own
and a lot of
homemade
them are really
rocket.
wealthy.
No,
what's funny.
that's what's crazy. This guy dumped like $500,000 into building his own rocket to go to
Oh,
his
that's
death.
the guy who died.
Yeah, to just crash into the desert
Yeah.
and die. And
I
because-
will say though, to be confident enough to get the money, put the resources into it, build the rocket, get
And
in
then
your own
get
rocket,
in
click the button, get in your own rocket and click the button.
I mean, you gotta tip your hat for that motherfucker hitting the button, dude.
He's
Like,
like
look,
he sits in, he's like seatbelt.
I'm gonna prove
check.
it's flat today.
Yeah, he's like seatbelt check.
Today's the day.
Joint check. Water bottle check. All right, clicks the button. Fucking just.
15 seconds later, it's over. Yeah.
Yeah, 15 seconds later, he's like, "Oh shit, I forgot to add the fucking whatever."
Yeah.
And then he's.
I should have spent another $500,000 on my damn rocket.
I knew I shouldn't have went with the cheapo engine.
I knew I should have got them parts at Lowe's. Oh shit! But yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's just crazy to me. Like, I don't know. Like, to me, like, I don't even. Yeah. I mean, I like the fact that people want to like prove things and like want to see for themselves. I think that's awesome because I think, I mean, I get the curiosity at that point. Because to me, I'm like, if you truly haven't seen, we're talking like a handful of people who truly know the answer to that question.
Yeah.
If you really want to be honest, the reason there's so many people who get on that kick of
Just
the flat Earth is because there's only so many people like
who've actually seen
unless
it
you went
from
to space, you don't know. You know what I mean? Unless you went to space and seen it from the moon or
well, imagine like a flat earther going all the way into NASA just to become an astronaut just to see.
Yeah, that would be cool though. That'd be cool. Like, you'd be like, holy shit, it's really round. like something everybody else kind of just gathered. Like, cause I'm like, I don't know. For me, like, what really?
I don't think
what cements it for me.
Interesting.
The moon. The moon cements it for me. The tides.
Yeah.
That just makes it make sense to me. I don't know why.
Well, that of course, but for me, it's got to be the fact that I just don't think the world's that interesting.
And it would be flat, and we got a glass dome over us, and
like it's just we're already.
You don't believe Antarctica is a big fucking ice wall? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, the fact that we even exist is an anomaly in existence. The fact that we're even here, making a podcast for everybody.
Yeah, it is crazy, dude.
You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, there might be aliens out there, and they might be doing kooky shit, but the fact that we're here. Like right now, like just experiencing
like,
this.
If you really think about the humankind, like
we're technically the universe experiencing itself because we're all made with the same material of the universe.
Oh yeah,
because matter can't be created or deleted, so it's just
ongoing.
Yeah.
No, I get what you're
so
saying.
we're just a universe
we're all
experiencing
carbon.
itself.
We're all carbon, different forms of carbon. That's all.
And that's crazy to think about.
Well, it's crazy to think how carbon reforms too.
Yeah.
Like from ashes to ashes, dust to dust, and then like from ashes, like it's crazy. Circle of life is really crazy. Like that's one thing. Like yeah, it's really wild, man. Like it's almost too perfect. You know what I mean? Like when you really think about it. Yeah, because it's wild. Yeah, you were definitely right. We are the anomaly in the universe, or even in maybe whole.
Yeah.
Big vastness of it all.
I wonder if aliens look at the shit we do and they're like, man, that's some ghetto shit.
Well, they do. They're like, what the fuck are these guys like? Like, cause okay, let's say
they're like they beat each other up.
Let's
for
say
fun?
most
what?
like look at some of the places we've seen. Like, okay, Paintsville. Kentucky's had some crazy UFO events.
Yeah. Or the fact that
that's
most
where
of
the
our
train,
advancements came from us trying to kill each other better.
Yeah, well
almost all of our advancements in all of history when it came to medical related or anything came from the necessity of warfare.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason why we have like capabilities like
even chemotherapy came from gassing each other.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, it's really.
I don't know if it's Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, but one of those was created for war necessity.
Well, Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
GPS.
Yeah.
GPS and Wi-Fi was used in the first Gulf War, and they were like, "Holy shit, this is a game changer," because they realized like the communication, live stream, like the live GPS data and shit. Like they realized it because we were able like. When they had set like oil wells on fire, like you couldn't see 3 feet in front of you in that smoke, and with the GPS and the vision systems we had, the computer vision systems we had, we knew right where they were. They couldn't see nothing. We'd run right up on them. You know what I mean? And
that'd be scary. Imagine you can't see 3 feet in front of you, and a whole squad of people just come running up and gun you down.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so they didn't have a chance. Like, I mean, with the technology we had compared to what they had, like it was like cowboys and Indians type shit almost. Like swords to automatic weapons almost, or arrows to automatic weapons. But yeah, it's wild, man. Like the fact that we do make leaps in technology for war. You know what I mean? Like more
that's
than
another
anything.
thing. You got to think about all the stuff we don't know about right now that has been made in the last.
Well, look how far
10
ahead.
years.
You know what's okay. So, okay, look at how
we've
far.
had a heart attack gun since the 1950s.
Look at how far ahead. Okay, we were. Look how far ahead Germany was in World War II. They were like 50 years advanced. They had jet engines.
Yeah.
They were using rocket planes, like rocket engine planes that could fly. I mean, they could only fly for like 5 minutes, but it was a rocket.
Yeah.
They didn't even have a true engine. It was just that's how good at rocketry they were. Anyways, point to all of it is
when you've been
these
flying
videos
for
that
5 minutes and 1
videos,
second, your plane just fucking falls out of the sky.
Yeah, these videos. That's more or less it was a glider after 5 minutes. But yeah, like these videos that we've seen that are from the U.S. Army and military, that is stuff we can't explain. Or at least they say we can't explain. Either way, what if it ain't aliens? What if it's just somebody else, like China or Russia? That's like, what's more scarier to you? You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like when you put it on
is
aliens,
it more
it's
scary?
the unknown.
It's
so
the unknown.
You can kind of get more creative how you think they are.
But think about them having like Star Wars type technology. If it's the Russians,
yeah,
that's almost as scary.
But
You know
I would
what
say,
mean?
I
Or
would
the
say,
Chinese, like,
if you knew it was the Russians, then you know the threat is right there. Russians exist. Russia's a real place. You know what I mean? But if you put it on aliens, you can kind of leave a lot of it up to skepticism and unknown. You know, but if you know it's the Russians, you'd be paying attention to what the Russians
it seems
are
like
doing.
they'd be really worried about this either way because it is right there.
But I
it's
feel like
right
they would
there
use
in
it
our
more.
airspace by our military.
Don't you think they would use it more? I mean, if say I was a country and I had the capability,
if it's experimental
to send
technology,
things-
if it's
to send
experimental
things just
technology,
like at thousands of miles in one direction, and then it can stop on a dime, go down underwater at the same speed, then go back up, and then do whatever, and then liquefy people within 12 feet.
yeah.
I mean, I would just take one of those and run it through an entire continent.
Yeah, but
if they were the enemy, because then nobody would be able to do anything to it.
Yeah, but if it's only one thing you have and it's experimental technology,
I mean, I get to the
You know
you got
what I
to
mean?
get it
Like,
to the
you
point to
know,
where
it's actually that good of a weapon.
yeah,
you know what I mean?
producible. Maybe the fuel would be the issue, things like
Yeah,
that.
like it all depends what its actually true capabilities are, but yeah,
But
it's
I would
crazy.
just assume though, because like
It just seems
the
like
thing
they'd be
about
more
these
alarmed.
UFOs is they're pretty common. Like UFOs are pretty common nowadays. There's a lot of sightings. They still go on. People still think they see things, and like I'm sure some of it's legit.
Well, there's a lot. Look at the Miami sightings and stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Like whatever that was, dude. You don't have that many people come out and say crazy stuff like that and like stand on it, like
things phasing in and out of existence.
like
and shit like
I
that.
mean, dude, that's something like you don't want to. I mean, dude, that's hard to say to say something that sounds so crazy. I mean, think about it. You know what I mean? Who wants to sound crazy? You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
especially if you got a job to where
what,
like
I mean, and dude, the people that I seen that came out about it, it wasn't like it wasn't like it did them good on social media.
yeah.
It's not like it got them something.
If anything, it put them more at risk.
I mean, it might have got them a video with like 10,000 to 20,000 views, but really, like, it's not like they tried to monetize that into anything.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why I believe the people I seen that came forward is because it's like there was no pursuit of anything from it. You know what I mean? It was just like they were really alarmed, they were scared, and like, is this a hologram technology maybe, or was it something really like?
I mean, if there
coming
was,
in and out of existence?
I wonder what would be scarier.
I mean, I don't know what
an
happened.
alien phasing in and out of existence.
Why didn't
or a
they arrest
Mothman
any
chasing you
teenagers?
down the road?
Yeah, but why didn't they arrest any of these unruly teenagers that caused a military type response from the police in Miami? You know, like, I don't know. There's some things with that didn't make sense, and I just, it's weird how some people will blindly just listen to what they're told by the news. Like, oh, that's so silly that anybody would think it could be that, even though these people are running scared for their lives and people coming out saying this. But then it's just some unruly teenagers. Like, it don't.
Yeah, that don't really compute too
Yeah,
well.
yeah. So, like, I don't know, man. Like,
I feel like, man, that would be fucking scary.
I think people should always make their own decisions. Like, you should never just go off what the news.
What would creep you out the most?
A Mothman or the aliens?
Yeah.
I think a Mothman.
Chasing you down the road.
The Mothman would scare me more, I think.
Especially because he only comes out at night.
Yeah.
And so that's even
that
scarier.
Would be worse for me, but
you know,
that, it's not even that. That's not the part of the theory. It's just the Mothman. I guess the supernatural part more so than the alien part.
Well, what I feel like is a lot of these things that people think are supernatural, probably just legit creatures. You know what I mean? Probably just
unexplained creatures.
Yeah, probably just a legit creature who has a way above average intelligence for whatever
or it's like a fucking
genus of it is.
Like Left Behind. What's
experiment? Like
or like what if it was like a
released?
dinosaur? Like one of the Left Behind, like what the flying dinosaurs, pterodactyl.
Yeah.
Like I mean, because you wouldn't know what the fuck it is if it's that big. Like you would think like it's just kind of man-like because it's tall and demon-like wings. You know what I mean?
Or well, and I also wonder what if the Mothman was just like a mutated bat, something that just grew to be way bigger than like what a normal one would be, or just because at night it's hard to see, you know, and bats are massive. And actually, contrary to popular belief, bats have amazing vision. Their echolocation's just extra.
I don't know about that.
They're not like 20/20 vision, but they're like, you know what I mean? They got good vision compared to what people think they are. Because blind as a bat is an expression.
Well, people are ignorant to what blind is.
Yeah.
Because people think blind is like no sight, and
when it could just be
blind
a bunch of
is there's a
things.
huge level of blindness.
Now, color-wise, I don't know what they can see.
Blind
they
is
might
anything like less than half your field of vision.
Yeah.
So if you're limited,
they might only be in black and white or red.
By blurriness or whether it's by
like
whatever. Yeah, like if your vision's limited like to less than half of what a normal person does, you're legally blind. But that does, it's weird.
Yeah.
I think more people know now, like that. Like more people are more educated on it now than ever before. I guess due to the internet, but yeah. I don't know, man. It's been crazy week. We are.
I wonder what I feel like the machete would be the go-to for a Mothman coming at you, because you want to be able to hack its wings so it's stuck.
I like to hash it. Like if I was gonna go with a hand weapon, like a hatchet, it's got a lot of.
It definitely has a lot of penetrating power.
You know what I mean? Like it's like a. Yeah.
But I feel like what you'd want to do with the Mothman, because its greatest strength is the fact that it can go in the air. If you could get its wing. And then, you slice it once in the wing and then just in the head a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Because all hitting it in the wing does is it injures it enough to keep it on the ground for you to finish it off. Because I feel like if you're hitting it with a hatchet, unless you get a direct hit to its like vitals, it's probably just gonna fucking wrap you up and take you into the air and drop you down like how some eagles.
Who wins? Like we'll have to do like a who wins, like Mothman or the Frogman.
I feel like the Mothman would win and just pick up the Frogman and drop him from a height.
Now,
just like eagles
Sasquatch
do with,
versus
animals.
Does Mothman beat Sasquatch?
I feel like it really just depends how big the Mothman is and can he pick him up. Because with any flying creature, you know what I mean, they would rely more on ambushes.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the Mothman wouldn't be very sturdy.
Like, could Sasquatch take him out of the air with one of his fucking rock throws?
Or just grab him, like as he comes down, just grab him by the wing and just rip it off.
Suplex him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just start ripping pieces of him
Trying to think of any other ones that I could think of. What a Chupacabra versus Mothman.
Well, it really depends on what kind of Chupacabra we're talking about.
What about the Jersey Devil? You ever heard about
I've heard of the Jersey Devil.
That's a crazy ass story.
People are like, man, it's walking on the top roof of my house.
Like that's crazy.
Shit like that.
Well, no, like there was like, dude.
That's the flying one, right? That kind of looks like a goat with horns. And shit like that.
The story in the 1800s was like, it had like walked up on the roof, like they couldn't even track it through the snow because it flew or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was creepy. It was a crazy news article about it.
Now, you think nowadays seeing these creatures would be scary. Imagine it's the Imagine this, though. It's the 1800s. There's no internet. Okay, the nearest town is 80 miles away, 20 miles away. You're just out in the wilderness. It's you, your kids, your wife, You know what I mean? Your pet dog. That's all you got. You got your old Winchester
You want to hear?
rifle.
Okay, so you want to hear?
And a little fucking revolver or whatever because you go hunting.
Yeah, you
and
want to
shit
hear
like
a
that.
crazy story that's going to be
Breaks
exactly
in
what
through
you're
your
saying?
window, and
Well,
you're
not
like
that,
trying
but-
to like, or walking on your roof, and you're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, but no, a crazy story similar to that truly happened is the first reporting of a UFO was like in 1870 or 18, like way back
That'd be
before
scary,
any
bro.
flying object should be fucking flying, right?
Yeah.
Well, a flying saucer had crashed in like Texas or whatever, and there's news articles about it. There was
Yeah.
even a dead pilot, right? That they buried there was a dead person in there. Anyways, they buried the person that was flying, whatever. There's a whole news article on this whole deal from the 1860s.
I think it's funny. For their first instinct when someone's flying an unidentified craft is, yeah, we'll bury him.
Yeah, I guess back then, they found the body, they buried him, like, whatever. They didn't know what the hell it was, like, even back then, like, there's nothing that should be flying,
Yeah.
like, either way. But, like, the fact that people, like, blindly, like, are like, oh, well, like, everything's easily explained as with any UFO things. Well, no, it's not, because, like, what the hell was flying in 1860?
Yeah.
Tell me what the fuck was
The Wright
flying with
brothers
someone
didn't even have
in
a plane
with
going
a
then.
person in it to die from flying it. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, like, I don't know. It's a crazy story. It's people can look this up and see what I'm talking about. But like,
It was a different time back then. Now.
I mean, I get
When
people.
you're 7-year-olds working in the coal mines and everyone's scraping together just to fucking survive.
Yeah, they don't even care.
They're probably just like, who gives a fuck? Is there anything valuable in that we can take? Like,
yeah, get the shiny metal.
yeah.
Uh,
Turn that into some horseshoes for the farm.
yeah,
Some shit like that.
yeah. But yeah, it's crazy, man. What time we at?
We're at 30.
All right, I think it's time for the gym. Right?
All right, guys. We're going to head to the gym. I hope you guys enjoyed. Really appreciate you watching.
Have an awesome Independence Day, y'all.
Have an amazing one. Remember, this is America, and we're going to get there.
That's right.